Hello, nerds. Welcome to BingeWorthy, part of the Geekish Network. This is the show where we binge a season of a show in a week and come back the following week, let you know if you should binge it or not. Today, we are actually covering Apple Pluses, the studio. With me, I'm your host, Chuck. With me, we have Johnny. Say what's people, Johnny.
Yo, what's going on, Benjis?
And we have Centel. Say what's up to people, Centel.
Yeah, what's cracking, baby? It's so good to be back.
Are y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Are y'all ready for this?
Oh, we got Rodney too.
And we have Rodney. Yeah. Rodney's in. Is gonna be in the sky. He actually watched the show, so he can actually jump in and give us some points, some pointers or two on the show itself. Thank you, Rodney, for coming in with us. Well, today we're going over the studio on Apple Plus. The creators are Evan Goldberg, Alice Gregory, Peter Huck, stars Seth Rogen, Catherine O'Hara, Ike Bernholtz, and Zoe Kravitz and Dave Franco. There's a whole list of people in here. We have a whole lot. If y'all haven't seen it, may want to go see it. But how we start our show is we rank the show in the beginning and we come back and rank it at the end and see if our rankings change. Rodney, what did the people give it this week, Rodney? What do we give it?
What are we talking about?
Let's see.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that.
Sorry, I had the thing there. I put it binge-worthy too, so
It's all binge-worthy?
It's all
Well, that's
binge-worthy.
easy mathematics.
There we go.
Everybody gave it a binge-worthy show. I guess what's a good way to start this show out? Because this is such a unique show in that it's a show about making shows and movies. What did y'all think of Seth Rogen's portrayal of a studio head? What was his character's name? What was Seth Rogen's character's name?
Matt.
Matt
Remick.
Yeah, Matt Remick.
Yeah.
He's the linchpin of this whole entire series. What are y'all thoughts of Matt Remick?
First off, I love the fact that they started him off as somebody who is a purist of cinema. You know, I think that's really important. Somebody that has like these grand ideologies. I think he really loves it, right? And then it's one of those things where, you know, be careful of what you ask for because you just might get it. And then you don't really realize like what the cost is of being the boss. And you get to slowly like watch the purity of this thing that he loves get twisted and contorted into a thing that he kind of doesn't like. But instead of it being preachy about it, it's all jokes. It's all jokes as you see his slow demise and rise. Demise as an artist and rise as a studio head.
Yes.
So for me, I like Seth Rogen. I've always thought he was funny. But I thought the standout thing about him being in this role was the writing of this story. To Sincel's point, it was jokes. And this gave me an opportunity to see Seth Rogen in a role where he was clever. Not just slapstick funny, but it was clever and wise. And I'd never seen him in this type of capacity. So it added a lot of value for me for this character. So I thought as a person who started off with this deep rooted passion for film, for cinema, and to see how it unravels and it changes him and it changes everybody around him, I thought it was a really good perspective.
Okay. I'm gonna say Matt, and I'm gonna tell people somewhat the storyline of this whole series is. I liked it because he was very self-conscious. He always fancied himself to be an artist, but he was pushed into an executive role early in his studio career, and he's made his way up. And he always looked at himself as an auteur with the artist making the products. And he wanted to be one of them. He has love, a passion for it and everything. And he's probably not the guy that made the film, but he's the reason the films get made. And this is a time for him to actually lean back into the puritanism of filmmaking and make films how they were intended to be made and not just cash grabs. And on season 1, he had to make the cash grab. I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys, but in season 1, he has to make the cash grab. As movies struggle to stay alive, that's the storyline is how movies struggle to stay alive and actually become relevant in this culture. The cash grab is easy, it's low hanging fruit. And Matt takes over Continental Studios, which is a successful film. I'm gonna say legacy film studio.
Yeah, old Hollywood studio.
Old Hollywood studio, ran by an old Hollywood person who actually fires Matt's boss and puts him into her spot. And it's about him growing into those shoes to actually run a studio and not try to be everybody's friend and not try to be the auteur behind all the films. Your job is to be the lines guy. You know?
Which he struggled with, though. At least I thought he did. I thought he struggled with those lines.
He absolutely did. But that's what makes it fun.
That's what makes it so
because
fun.
you know his heart is one thing but he's forced to have to kind of like be an adult a little
Be an
bit.
adult.
He's
Yeah, be the
forced
adult in
to
the
have
room.
to do these things, and he's not, he's not very good at it. And that's what makes it great. But that's I think is brilliant too. Regarding just Matt Remick's character is just the actor playing behind it, not just the actor, but the producer, and that is Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen has over 60 producing credits. Like,
yeah, he's on it. He's on it. He's a beast.
He really is. He really is. Relatively powerful in Hollywood.
And talented.
Not studio head powerful, but he's been around the block. That some of the stories that he tells throughout the season, you can tell kind of hit home, or at least tongue in cheek enough for him while he's packing his bowls. I'm sure these are like a lot of campfire stories for him that him and his friends are talking about.
He's actually come out and said, I've listened to a few interviews about him. He's saying that a lot of those lines, especially from the first episode, are straight from studio execs that have told him those things.
Yeah.
Like he's getting to the point now where like all these studio execs are calling him and going like, that was me, wasn't it? Like, like they're calling him out because they're like, I remember saying that to you. And so like that line where he said, this is not a spoiler, but because it's in the trailer, when he's talking to his former boss at her house, and he says like, yeah, I've come to realize that like this thing that I love, I'm here to destroy. Right. And so he said that specific line. He's like, yes, a studio exec said that to me. And so that's true. He's used on that. But he's really powerful. When you look at like his list of things that he's doing. I mean, speaking of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he did like the animated one, right? Like, it's all these things you're like, you don't realize he's like either produced or written or whatever. And like, he's also a director on this, right? Like showrunner and director. So it's like just amazing work by him.
And it's without it being too spoiler, because he single-handedly is made Amazon Prime relative in the superhero scene, because he's got two massive projects in Invincible and in The Boys and the spinoff of The Boys as well. He's a producer on both of those. But it's still kind of meta too, because he's still very much aware of how powerful Amazon is. I'll just leave it at that. So you can tell that there's pieces of his life that is in this show. Yeah.
It's so funny being in that industry as a producer. It's like, I get it. Like, wow, you want to be an auteur. You went to school to be an auteur, and here it is. You got stuck in the business side of it, but you have a good taste. You have good taste in movies, and you have good taste. And you know what shots work and what they don't work. And he actually believed it. Like when they went to the house on the hill. Yeah. And he's like, you need to put this shot back in. Yeah, and everybody told him what was going to happen. He got told what everybody's going to say yes to you. And you know why they're going to say yes to you. And he was okay with that. He was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. But I know it's good. It makes a good film. They almost lost the shot.
Right. I think he wants to do well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's executing on that, right? And even right towards the end, and I don't want to give too much, but it was like, never call yourself an artist around real artists. I thought that was really funny.
Yes. Well, for him, he's like, I went to schools with them. I just have never done what they've done, but I know what it takes to do it. Like, he's like, he read the book, he read the manual and said, I can put this motorcycle together. And then he's in a room full of mechanics.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what makes
just because you can buy the tools don't mean, just because you can
know how to do it.
The wrench don't mean you're a plumber.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. Because you're an architect doesn't mean you can build a house.
Exactly. Because you can read a blueprint don't mean you can build a house, right?
Yeah. I think that's where he's at. Speaking of just Matt, because I started with him because he's the thing that holds the show together. How do y'all think the other characters balance around him, and how they balance with the plot? Like, he has his best friend with him, who was his friend through the whole entire studio industry. Like, they're homies. It reminded me of Curb Your Enthusiasm with JB Smooth and what's his name and what's Larry
David.
Like they're friends like that.
Yeah,
like they're friends like that. They're not just business friends. They're friends.
who also thought he had a shot at running the studio. So that's another layer of complication in that story as well.
Yes.
Yeah. As far as side characters go, don't get me wrong, Matt Remick is great. Seth Rogen is great. He's funny, but I not even close do I think he's the reason why this show is good. Like, I think this show would be just as hilarious and would have almost no fall off, even if he wasn't even in the show. That's how strong the other characters are. And you were talking about Sal Saperstein, the guy that plays his best friend, the woman who plays his old boss, Patty is funny because you know, she's kind of like the old school, you know, been around the block. But yet she still, you know, probably feels some kind of way about, you know, not like having her job. That damn Catherine Hahn playing Maya is hilarious.
Catherine Hahn is hilarious.
She is hilarious.
Everything about her is hilarious.
There's another actress that comes in a little bit later, not to like mid-season. You almost don't even notice her until mid-season, and it's the episode is with Sal Saperstein and Petra. And Petra shocks. Like, you didn't even know who she was, really, pretty much, until that episode. And then once you see her, you're kind of stuck with her for the rest of the season. And it is awesome. And then I think the person who bookends this show completely is Bryan Cranston. It has the best bookends that I've seen. You see him in the beginning and you see him in the end, and both times are memorable.
They are memorable.
When has Bryan Cranston never not killed it, right?
Yeah.
You know, like
he's killed every role. He has killed every role. But you've got another one. Chase Wonders, when she comes in as Queen, her rival to Sal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
that's
good.
what I meant to say. My bad. Not Petra. It was Quinn. My bad. I got the two confused.
Petra's cool though, because Petra was the assistant. She just wants to be a good assistant. That's all she wants to be. And she's like, these people are crazy.
It was Quinn and Sal when they have
that
they have a
battle
Rushmore.
episode.
You ever seen the movie Rushmore?
Yeah,
it's like that.
That battle episode is hilarious.
Hilarious.
I think that was a really good departure because most of them were up to that point really focused on Matt, but then it went and focused on them and built up these other characters, and so it was like really well done. So I wanted to ask you guys real quick, what do you guys think of like the way it was shot?
The pacing was amazing.
I loved it.
Like the wonders, the cinematography, what did you guys think of that? Because that was it was like another character real choice. A real choice.
Yeah, it served as like another character in it that gave us an insight into all of these characters. And it helped to me with the pacing of it. The show almost had a rhythm to it, like it was moving to music, the way the cameras would switch, the way they would move, the way all of those things. And I thought it just heightened this whole experience that we had throughout it. It was actually one of the standout moments for me.
I agree with everything you said. Plus one. I think it felt like a multicam docu-series without the documentary, not the documentary portion of it at all. It's like there's no staring into the camera. There's no going into the cone of silence to talk about everybody on the cast. But it felt like it was that type of show. And it was just smart. It was really, really smart. It was very cinematic. Oh my God. The shooting of it was like, this is cinema quality shooting.
Yeah, I'll take it another step further. I think that it's meta in a way. The brilliance, how would I say this? Like the brilliance of Seth Rogen is that he legitimately, as him, Seth Rogen loves film. He does.
Yes, you can tell.
Okay, and his character Matt Remick loves film, and the people that are in this show, they do have an appreciation for film as well. Patty does, Sal does. Like they love it, but they're just putting it in a position where they're trying to keep their job and they're trying to get paid. So they make these horrible, terrible choices, but they love it. But the meta thing about how it's shot in the real world is that they pay homage to something almost every episode. And the biggest one that hits you square in the mouth is the oneer. And it's a one shot. It's one of the hardest things to pull off in cinema. Not only is it damn near impossible to pull off, but then to get a money shot on top of a oneer, where I don't want to ruin too much. It's like a double down on the level of difficulty. And for the TV show to actually do that and imply it in the actual script that it is this thing is like the balls of this production team to do that and it still be funny.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine how insanely difficult episode 2 had to be. And then they'll take their foot off the gas, and then they'll do something kind of like Chinatown, where they recreate Chinatown, the movie. I don't want to ruin too much. Still make it funny, but it's these great hat tips to Hollywood. It's like, we're tongue in cheek, but don't get it twisted. We love this thing, and we're going to show you that we love it, and we're still going to make it funny.
Yeah, I was going to say that episode is meta within meta, right? Because he's talking about a oneer. This film is shooting a oneer, and they're shooting this show in basically oneers. And then it's like I've heard oneers be described as like it's like a masculine flex, right, type of filmmaking. And so on top of that, it's like, man, you're right. It's like the amount of blocking and the amount of planning they had to do within that is just like, but you're right. It's still,
and they had a golden hour shot on top of it.
Yeah,
golden hour shot.
And they called it out too.
You know how insane that is?
It is insane.
Yeah.
And they did a golden hour shot like 3 times.
And it was beautiful.
Back and nailed it.
And it's beautiful because it's like you're right, Chantal. It's like they still see a lot of times with these shows, they just throw a wonder in there, just to, I just do a wonder, but like they lose sight of like what really is like the story or the jokes or whatever. And it's like it never became a gimmick, is what I guess what I'm saying. It was like it always had a payoff, and it was always hilarious. And so like, yeah, and like the Chinatown episode, I think, and again, not to give anything away, but like the end of that episode with Olivia Wilde is it's probably top 5 laugh for me in that whole series. Was that end where they're like it was beautiful because it was like a mystery. They were paying homage to all these different like types of cinema within this thing. It's like, oh, we're doing this wonder episode. Oh no, we're gonna do this mystery now. You know, it's just beautiful.
It's interesting because the whole show was satirical, but yet it's owed a love to classic Hollywood at the same time. It's like, we're going to poke fun of everything that's bad about Hollywood, but tell you why we really love this thing. Like, we really, truly love this thing. And we know it.
Yeah.
And we're going to do things that you're not going to see as the viewer. But if you work in this industry, it's like being a rapper's rapper. It's like, if you know how complex we did these things, then you would be mind blown. And we pulled it off every time.
And to add to that point, I thought that all of the cameos were absolutely outstanding. Like you talk about it. So we get Ice Cube with a cameo. We get all the incomparable, what's her name? Zoe Kravitz. You get Olivia Munn. Like, and the Ron Howard one was just great.
Oh my gosh. The Ron
it was so
Howard
good.
was
So good.
Fantastic.
So good.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it added realism to it, but it entrenched the story a lot.
Yeah. I think every character played a part, and the fact they came on as themselves is crazy. It's shocking to me, and it was like, this is probably who they are in real life too. It probably is. Like a Dave Franco. I want to hang out with Dave Franco. Dave Franco's my boy. He had one of the best scenes in this whole entire series.
Oh man,
that scene was like, wow. Oh man,
the last 2 episodes were crazy good.
Crazy
good.
Yo, I didn't know Zoe. I didn't know. Zoe was funny. I didn't know
she was funny either.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I never seen anything funny.
Yeah,
and she's funny.
And to see, because most times you see her, she always looks like a femme fatale, right? In almost everything that she does. But man, around them, she just transformed, and I was like,
oh man,
that's all I can say on that.
They had so many.
Showed up on an Apple show.
That was hilarious. He's talking about meta within
showed
meta.
Up on an Apple show.
At the
that
Golden
in itself
Globes.
is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the Golden Globes, like
at the Golden Globes.
Yes. That Golden Globes episode was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh yeah.
And it let you know how isolated Matt felt too. Like, nobody acknowledges me as an artist, and I'm an artist too. and everybody's explaining to him. Like, him and like Ted Sarandon in the bathroom. It was amazing. That was amazing.
Nope, that's a real order, should not.
Not really. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. But all the characters are really good, right? Like there's like people make small cameos. Like Lil Rail shows up a little bit. Quinta Brunson shows up.
Yep.
These are people with shows that been through this meat grinder known as Hollywood.
Even
And
some
then like
directors
Olivia
showed up.
Wilde, they brought in a lot of people that have shows or have produced properties to be actors in this property.
Yeah, and they
Like,
play themselves. Like
You
there's
play
a-
themselves
the
like you've been a
Scorsese
producer
episode is great,
before,
too.
so you'll understand
Yeah.
the studio.
Yeah.
It was like
we're
that
saying
is
the
really-
Kool-Aid was ridiculous. Ridiculous, right? But it's great.
Zac Efron being in it, like him being popping in it, is like,
yeah.
and I was like, oh my god.
It was funny too, because like Ron Howard, his cameo, and then like the whole they had like that bad history between the two of them, like that whole like line, and then just that was such a great payoff. Like it was. Yeah, there was a. I'm looking at the list, and there was so many. There were like so many.
So many.
Martin Scorsese, Olivia Wilde, Quinta Brunson, Dave Franco,
Peter Berg was in
Dave
it.
Franco.
Rhea
Yep.
Perlman.
Yeah, Rhea Perlman showed up. Right?
Yeah, Rhea Perlman showed up.
Like, where
Where's
is
his mom?
His mom. That's his mom.
Where's his mom?
Zoe Kravitz, like Adam Scott, like it was crazy.
It was so good. It was so good.
It's going back to like what
we gotta get a shout out to Air Baylon, the friend of the network that was also in it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That blew me away. I was like, I know
Errol
that's
was there.
not.
He actually got a speaking part in the series.
He in the back or something like that. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah. I mean, they had Zack Snyder in the show.
No.
there was Zack Snyder was there.
Yeah, Zack Snyder's in the show,
Yeah.
first episode.
No.
I missed that.
Oh man, it's so
You know
good.
what
Aaron
you know-
Sorkin.
Yeah. They got Aaron Sorkin in there. Yeah.
I'm looking at the list. That's how I remember. But I said Zack Snyder was in there.
You know what I like too? The damn balls that they had with doing the casting, right? The casting that could have easily just gone horribly wrong. And it did, but on purpose. But it was still tongue in cheek enough that whatever side that you felt like during the casting regarding how you feel, or if they're going too far or not enough, they had like a retort for it or a rebuttal for it or a reason why it could work or a reason why it couldn't work. So it was a fantastic mess, man. But just to take the what does Kool-Aid mean to you? just to have the audacity, to do it was great.
And what makes it really curious is like being in those rooms.
Yeah.
That's what it's like. It is literally like this. People think the business side is buttoned up and tight, and they hate the artist. They're like, you need to calm down. I'm the adult in the room. There are a bunch of children just playing the whole entire time. That's all it is. Rodney, you've been on sets. Centel, you've been on sets. It's just like being around a bunch of children, just at recess. And we can't get caught doing what we're doing. As long as we don't get caught, we're good. We'll come back tomorrow and do the same thing over. As long as we don't get caught.
There's this thing. The Barack was giving like an interview, and he was talking about to the effect of anytime you walk in a room, just have some confidence, because the people that are in that room, they're not as confident as you think. And he was saying that when he was just like a small time city councilor or whatever it was,
He wanted to get to a bigger room, and
he
realized
was
that they're just like the
there was a
other
couple
jobs.
people that were on it, but then most folks weren't, And then you think you'd get to the next level, you're at the state level, you're like, oh, well, these people are kind of on it. Nope. You get to the federal level. Nope. When you get to the world stage, it's like these people that run countries, and they're like, dang, you really ain't as, that's how I kind of felt like that episode was too. It's like, or a lot of just the people in general, no matter where you go, there's going to be incompetence and there's going to be people that kind of know what they're doing.
Yep.
Yes. And we see it. We see it across everything. Like people figured like Elon, for example, was this genius, madman genius. And we're like, he don't know shit.
We used to always say, I wonder what fraternity he was in. Like, he was in a fraternity is the only reason they got the job. Who he's friends with. So, like, what fraternity was he in? Who's his fraternity brother?
Yes.
Or sorority sister, however you want to take it.
Yeah. But this show, y'all thought all the episodes held up? There were any episodes y'all thought were missing? Like, oh, that was a missed opportunity?
No.
Anything?
No.
I could have watched 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
It was 10 episodes, and I thought it was perfect, right? But if there would have been another 2 or 3, I would have been like, okay, I'm good with that. I'm going along for the ride. So no, I don't think there were any misses.
Okay.
And from the little bit that I read on it, there was 2 or 3 episodes worth of material that they had to leave because the guests couldn't show up. Guests had other things that kind of popped up, and they were too essential to kind of like write around it. So they just had to throw the episodes away. So there's allegedly 2 to 3 more episodes worth of material that's still kind of just like floating out there.
And I would have been for it.
Yeah.
Would y'all want more of the same for a season 2?
Absolutely. I do. I think I would love to go back to this world.
Different.
No, I'm good. I want to go back to this world. I enjoyed it.
So here's my thing. If it's scripted, I don't know. Maybe I'd want just a little bit more rails with a direction that maybe Matt wants to go, and then of course it can be kind of chaotic. But y'all let me know, and this includes you, Rodney. How much of this is improv? Because if it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm, then we don't need rails. It's just we just gonna take this one little thing and then just run with it.
I was thinking about that too, because like, you know, some of the discourse and some of the interviews I said that they were like written, a lot of it was written, but I'd have to imagine that a lot of it is also improv day of. Yeah, they're just having too much fun.
They are.
You know what I mean? I think they're just having too much fun, and I think the fact that it is handheld oneers, that like, you know, the camera is like those whip pans between like whoever's talking, like it leads itself to be like, oh, somebody's saying something funny, let me just whip over there, and it's like, so I think I think it's 50-50. I really do. I do really think it's 50-50, and I think it's, I personally, I would love, I mean, obviously it's renewed for season 2.
It has been good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. It has been renewed for season 2. And the formula of, I think this formula is, they've hit on something really special, because Seth Rogen is getting these massive stars to do cameos and then just to basically make fun of themselves. Right? And then also the industry. So it's like it's inside baseball. And then I guess that was the other worry I know a lot of people were talking about, was like, is it too inside baseball that somebody that doesn't follow the studios, you know, Hollywood that close, could they really get into it? I'm like, no, it's so hilarious. It's just so hilarious. I think the only concern I have is that, like, there were times where I was just like, yeah, I wanted to slap Matt, because he was just like, he was just being so dumb. He was just being so like, oh my, like the oncology one. Like, I was just like, oh my God.
Read the room. Read the room. Read the room, son.
The oncology one was hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I mean, like, even like the Wonder one, when he was like getting in, you know, without, you know, just. Oh, it was.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you? That whole entire episode, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
But yeah, anyways, would you guys? I mean, to answer Santella's question, like, what'd you guys think?
Go ahead, Randy.
No, I was just saying, was it about another season?
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely want to see another season. I can't. I hope. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, for me, I want a season 2. I want to see them play on more properties. Like, I want to see that Citizen Kane episode. That's going to be really weird. I'm expecting that. I think it was lightly scripted. This is lightly scripted show because there's so many lines in there that are so loose and wild. Like, I don't believe they're saying. Like, I tell everybody, my favorite line is this, and it's Zoe. She goes, "Yes, you're a beautiful black Jewish queen." Just how that came out, I was like, wow. Yes, you're a beautiful.
I don't think Catherine Hahn looked at one piece of script ever.
Not one.
Not
Not
ever.
one.
She's just way off the chain.
I
She's
think
so
that's
far
who
off the
she
chain.
is. I think that's who she really is in real life. I think Catherine Hahn was playing herself the whole entire time. Every time she came on the scene, you're like, what the fuck did she got on?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying too. I think that's another reason why, like, most of it is just like is not scripted. It's like because they're having so much fun, and that was one of my concerns was that was it going to be too over the top because everybody is over the top, like everybody is over the top, but it worked. Normally I'm like, nah, this is too much. This is too crazy. But like, no, it worked, man. And so, but yeah, they were all hilarious. Like,
but it is satire, right? I mean, it is satire, and satire in a lot of instances only works if it is way over the top.
You know what's so interesting? This show reminds me of Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like it's so far over the top. Everybody's so self-serving,
right?
And you get that feeling in that, but it's not malicious. Like Always Sunny in Philadelphia can be somewhat malicious. They got Danny DeVito in it, so it can be somewhat malicious in it. But this is more like Mythic Quest. Like Mythic Quest, people are self-serving, but they work as a team. This, they don't necessarily work as a team. They work as a studio, and they actually like each other as people.
And they are kind of saying like, yeah, this industry is ridiculous.
It is.
It literally is ridiculous, right? And we get it. We don't take ourselves that seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels very kind of like Reno 911, that Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of thing. Yeah,
absolutely.
But you know what I like about this too, because you could kind of see the writing on the wall that Hollywood's never going to be the same. So now we're just trying to save as much of that good feeling as we can because the change is inevitable,
Yeah.
But I think just the industry as a whole, especially LA in particular, LA, because of so much change that's happening, you need something just to remind film lovers why we love this thing, because you can see the love in it, even though it's very tongue in cheek, but also to remind people that are out of the industry, they have this idea of Hollywood in their head, unfortunately, in a lot of red states, they have this idea of Hollywood that it's just this evil paradise where people just do these terrible things and they're trying to manipulate and all this other stuff. And here you have the studio where it is so chaotic, but in a space of love, but also in a space of we have to get this thing done. And then adding into the fact that, Matt has to deal with a very difficult decision towards the very end, which is kind of happening in real terms, plus with all the jobs leaving and that stuff. So to me, it's kind of like, it's like a big gigantic flag that Seth Rogen is waving into the air for Hollywood, in a sense, to be like, hey, pay attention. I don't know, we're paying. I know, things are changing, but this thing, we're doing it for the love of the game. And if you watch this, maybe whatever preconceived ideas that you have about LA or whatever it is, you can have a nice little laugh and a smile and maybe go back to the theater.
For some reason, a lot of people outside of Los Angeles think LA is a degenerate place, but it is. People do have fun. It's not all cutthroat. Yes, you hear the horror stories of people going home because they didn't make it out here. It's because a lot of it they didn't have the right connections. They didn't have make the right connections. They didn't have the right talent. There's a lot of things that happen here. They could develop families. A lot of people I know that fall out of Hollywood is because they develop families. They get married and have kids. And that's hard to maintain. We have friends that do that, Jennifer Sun Bell, for example, she has 2 kids, and her husband both are in the industry.
It's getting tougher too. I mean, with the fires, strikes, there's just not a lot of studios greenlighting stuff. So there's. I mean, I know personally several of my in the industry friends. They haven't worked for like over a year. Because there's just a lot of stuff that's not. So, going back to like the whole, it's like it goes back to what, yes, it's over the top funny. Yes, it's poking Hollywood. But if you really look at sort of like the layers of it, they're really smart about what they're trying to say about the industry. And so like the whole episode of like, Yeah, it's the Golden Globes, but they're also kind of like poking fun of the whole like streamers, right? Because Ted Sarandos is there, right? So like Netflix keeps popping up, and he's making fun of it, and so like they're talking about the evolution of like what Hollywood is, and there's like all these little things, and it's like. Yeah, and it's interesting too, is like I think that was what came up like with the fires. People don't realize, like, if you look at like, I mean, I've seen so many like people I personally know that like have GoFundMe's up, and they're just regular people. They're not like
regular people.
They're just regular people that lost everything in the fires, and it's like I don't think people are just like, yeah, it's a weird industry, but it is an industry with just regular people that make the majority of it makes up regular people, and so
that's what I was going to say. Like they're just people with jobs, just like every person in the world. They're just people with jobs, and as any industry goes through changes, it's going to impact the industry, especially the people who are not necessarily at the top. And the people at the top are going to make decisions that are going to impact people, right? So, yeah, it's just a job. Like the steel industry, the automobile industry, like any industry that's going through any changes, it's going to impact them.
I guess because the way Hollywood sets itself up is to be magic to the rest of the world. They don't realize the magic is just grinding people down. This is an industry that grinds people, where you have people on sets 20 hours.
Yes.
They're only supposed to be there for 16. Then they got to turn and come right back in the next morning. And do it again. They got to do that for 2 weeks straight.
And it's just not like Hollywood. Like it's just not like super actors. Like it's craft services, it's wardrobe, it's repair. It's like all kinds of those things that are impacted by this thing. It's an industry. It's a job. It's like everybody got a job.
Like people don't understand. Besides to having the AD, there's somebody next to the AD that keeps continuity together and said, you got to stand this way at this point right here because we're picking up right from here. And that shirt is a little bit more wrinkled than it was. Somebody come in and get it and iron it really quick. You got 5 seconds to iron this shirt because we're losing daylight.
Because we got to get this shot in because daylight's going down.
Because we're losing daylight. Yes. Losing daylight's the scariest thing in on production. Unless you're doing a night shoot, then that night shoot you're just up all night, hoping you don't pass out.
But the thing is like even the people that are like who you think are the higher ups, their jobs are in jeopardy like constantly.
All the time.
That's one of the things that makes this series so funny because everybody's job is in such jeopardy. Sal is like, man, can I I might not have gotten this promotion, but can I still be relative? And that battle between him and Quinn has real repercussions. And when you watch episodes, you'll see. Like it's like, dang, I'm still trying to stay here. Even the big boss, Bryan Cranston's character, he's still, there's decisions.
He's chairman on the board.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn is the marketing person, and she's like, I can't risk my job promoting this thing, So they're asked to act in such a way. Even Patty's character is the same way. Like jobs are on the line
all the time,
and these are the higher ups. I mean, and even as far up as high as where Matt is at, it's not guaranteed. I think that thing that they do at the very end for the last 2 episodes that really kind of like puts the whole team on edge for a second. I thought that was a good way to kind of like close out this season because you don't know, nothing is for certain, and you gotta put your balls to the wall and make the best out of whatever situation you have, and that season finale is that. It's like, hey. This is what we got.
This is what we got. Yep.
Is it gonna work or not?
You know what's so crazy? There were 2 characters that popped in and out from time to time that brought levity to all of this.
Okay.
It was Petra, the assistant, and Tyler, Captain Hahn's assistant. Oh, the black dude.
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell y'all going through? I'm not a part of this.
I won't too much away, but it was like, if the whole cast is black, are we trying to say only black people drink Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
I was like,
that is a real discussion. Yeah, that is a true to life discussion.
At the very end, very end, when they think everything is, I don't want to say that.
Everybody has to watch it.
With that being said, you guys, was great.
I think we're talking in nauseam about this show.
Okay.
We're gonna re-rank it.
Well, real
Do
quick,
we need to re-rate it?
real quick. I wanted to add just real quick, just like the meta of it all, right? So you remember Catherine Hahn's character? This is not a spoiler because it happens in the first episode, and we've said it already. She gets fired. She gets replaced, and then, but the way it is, her golden parachute is like, okay, you have a first look deal, and with the company, and you could be a producer, right? You know, the real world Amazon movie head. She got fired around the same time that episode came out, and her deal was exactly what they said in the show.
Wow.
Yeah. So and it was a female. I forgot her name, but it's like, I think it's like Amy Pascal. I think. Yeah. She got fired from Amazon, Amazon movies, and she got the same exact deal that Catherine Hahn's character got in that, and it's just crazy how the meta is right in this show. So it's like little things like that. It just takes it to the next level, you know.
Like she didn't care about getting people at the work. She didn't care. She's like, I understand I got fired. I understand it was my time. Like, you get that somebody's always coming for the crown. Somebody's always coming. And so I think she just knew that. It's true. It's true. And her character was amazing. Catherine O'Hara's character was amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's had a bit of a resurgence. I've seen her in a whole bunch of stuff. I even saw her in a commercial playing the little tennis joint. What's that joint called?
Yeah, she's
pickleball.
I mean, she's
Last of Us
commercial. Season 2.
Last of Us. Yeah. Like Catherine O'Hara's eating. I'm like, damn.
Catherine O'Hara's having a resurgence. She became one of the dames. I think that's what it is. She became a dame.
It's probably one of those things too where she didn't work for such a long time, and she's like, you know what, I want to work again, and then boom, she just got everything.
Got in. Now she's a dame. She's at the dame age. You know, they have a certain age you have to be a dame. I kind of think Vivica Fox is that right now. Angela Bassett's a dame. She fell into dame status. On that. Yeah, she fell into dame status. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, Vivica not so much though.
I was going to say Vivica Fox. How do we go with that one?
She's not a dame. She's not a dame. We're going to get back to re-rating the show.
Okay.
Do we have to re-rate the show, or is anybody changing? First of all, is anybody changing? That's the
Don't give me no rating. You already know what I'm going to do with it.
I mean, I just want to be difficult at times. So, you know, I'm just talking I'm not changing.
I'm not changing a thing, man.
Yeah. I was like, Randy's about to change it right now. I was like, this guy. This is
always one. This is probably one of the biggest surprises that Apple has dropped in. Don't get me wrong. I think Apple is just a gem of a platform.
They are a gem.
It's very underrated how good of a platform Apple is, and it just throws out these nuggets where you're just like, damn, that is super solid. It's one of those things where you can sell the platform on. The studio's that good. Like, you can be like, if you want to get Apple Plus, you know, go see Ted Lasso in the studio. Those two can hold you down for a minute.
The star power that they're able to get, the production quality that they're able to put on the screen, they are not cheaping out on any of that. So, and it shows on the screen. So, we can't say that about some of the other stuff, but Apple Plus, I'm with you, Centel. It is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite platforms. Honestly, it really is, because almost everything, at the very least, you know that the production quality is good. You know, and it just does not look cheap. And
it doesn't.
But
they're bold too. They do bold on shows. Sorry.
Like, I mean, we haven't talked about, but Severance is a whole gem. I don't know if any of y'all have watched Severance. It's a whole gem.
Yes.
Foundation
For
All Mankind is really good.
For All Mankind. Mythic Quest.
Ted Lasso. I mean,
Pachinko's really good. I love Pachinko.
Slow Horses.
Oh my god, I love Slow Horses.
It's a lot of gems.
The Morning Show.
Oh my god,
the Morning Show was good, and that's one of the first outings.
Yeah. We were talking about that earlier, I think, in Geek Beat. So I think Slow Horses is a good example of like, okay, six episodes, make it tight, and then it's back in a year. You know, it's like none of this like 6 to 7 episodes and you're not back for like 3 years. You know, it's like, no, come on, like just film shit back to back or whatever. It's like, I'm tired of this like short season and having to wait like 3 years, you know. Just
you forget about the whole entire show.
Your Friends and Neighbors is pretty good. That's kind of new. Government Cheese is fun and
Government
quirky.
Cheese.
Yeah, like,
and then the one about the robots, right? That's
Murderbot.
Murderbots. Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the reviews, and the reviews have been really good.
Yeah.
People love it. Schmigadoon, low key, is really
so
good.
So good, it's so good.
Yeah.
You know, Ted Lasso, Dark Matter. Dark Matter is good. I was shocked on what it was doing with it. I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, and they haven't even jumped into animation yet. They haven't.
They're building a new studio down the street from me, right next to HBO Max. They're like, HBO Max is here. Building's like on this corner up front.
Yeah.
Apple's here across the street. Apple said, we're blowing all this out and rebuilding it.
And from what I'm hearing is Apple is taking huge losses on Apple Plus. And they're just like, whatever, it's a tax write-off.
But I mean, when you're the world's biggest company, literally, right? The most profitable company. It's a tax write-off at this point. Like, the little TV people.
What's the stat? Like, they have the most cash on hand than like most countries.
Yeah, it's like $100 billion
cash on hand. It's not just assets. It's not even just assets. It's like, there's a lot of people that it's just like straight cash.
But they got in trouble for a little bit. That some of the shareholders wanted some of that, but still,
Hey, our current president gave them that tax-free day, and they brought it all back over. They're like, how are they gonna bring all that cash back in one day? I said, it's a decimal point on the computer. That's all it is a computer.
Ain't nobody got to go get a truck and bring it.
People thought they were physically bringing over cash.
You just hit a button, and it's literally
done. Hit enter. That's all you do.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
Move from one account to the next account.
Right.
Ding, 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 ding.
People thought they were how they gonna move all that cash in? They got to pay everybody to import it in. I'm like, you think this is real money? You think we had that much real money?
It's like 19.
It's all monopoly money.
Right. You think this is what, like 1850 or something like that?
All this money sitting in the bank somewhere.
Yeah. It's in a bank, but it's in zeros and ones. Is what it is.
Zeros and ones. Yeah.
They moved $10 billion and paid a $5 transaction fee.
They paid nothing because they had their own bank in America.
Yeah. It's actually a limit to how much you can wire from one place to another.
Not on a tax-free day, apparently.
No, it's a limit. You can do it. You don't get taxed for it, but like there's a limit to how much the U.S. wiring system is for how much you can wire from one place to another. Yeah,
I believe you.
Yeah, but we don't know. They may make concessions for Apple. If Apple says we're bringing back over.
They figured it out. Don't get me wrong. They figured it out.
Yeah, they'll always be ahead of the game.
They figured it out.
Trust me.
I mean, like the speaking of which, the tariffs, like they flew a bunch of planes over there and grabbed a bunch of inventory and flew it right back over. And they're like, "What tariffs?
What tariffs?
All inventory is already here.
What tariffs?
They ain't flying shit into a port. We got our own personal airport.
We got our own landing strips and everything.
All of that.
Good. We're good. Do what you want.
We're good.
All right.
That's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. So the funds that Apple TV is losing, they like.
Yeah, whatever. Make good programming.
Just a decimal point. It's just a decimal point.
For those that are watching us or listening to us on your podcast, your favorite podcast network, be it Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you may listen to us from, or watch us on YouTube or whatnot, we are giving this a full binge worthy. Unless Rodney, you want to change your rating? Rodney's like, F that. Keep my rating the same.
No change. It's binge-worthy for sure.
It's binge-worthy, okay. So we have a fully binge-worthy show, so we advise you all to go to Apple Plus and binge watch the studio. And trust us, after you binge watch it, come back in our comments. And
here's the thing. One last thing I will say. Since Earl Balon, former host of Pangeekery and other things, and part of the Geekish Network, was on the studio, I'm saying we're on the studio. It's like, Geekish Network is part of the studio, so
I like it.
I like it. I take that too.
I take that too.
I take that.
Technically, we're wrong here, right? Yep, I got you.
Sweetie girl cut his teeth fat.
Seth, give us a call. Seth, give us a call.
Yeah, Seth, come on the show, Seth.
We can put that on the IMDb page, part of the studio. I like it.
Yes. With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in to the show. Shouts out to Digital Click for always handling our marketing materials. Unfortunately, we didn't have our host with the mostest, Rakai or Courtney, here today, or Catherine. We have 3 other hosts. They're out there on sabbatical right now for this show. Probably be back next week for next week's show, which is The Last of Us. So that's gonna be interesting. I haven't even started it yet, so I got to start season 2. The little bit that I seen was on Centel's channel. Centel, where can people reach you at?
You can meet me at /Centel on YouTube, or just at Centel on other socials.
Okay, and if you ever need speaking help, if you want to do presentations with not, reach out to Johnny Randolph for the Randolph Speakers Bureau.
Yeah, you can reach me at the Randolph Speakers at gmail.com or randolphspeakers.com.
Yep. With that being said, yes, Mark, it's only 7. Shout out to Mark. He's in our chat. Mark is the 6th man on BingeWorthy on Geek Beast, and he's the 6th man on BingeWorthy too. He was like, The Last of Us is only 7 episodes.
It's only 7 episodes.
Yep, and it's on HBO Max, not Max, not HBO, but HBO Max now. They should just call it HBO. It's forever gonna be HBO to me. So watch those 7 episodes and come back with us next week, and we'll let you know if you should binge it or not. And if you have watched it, we can actually talk about it with us.
I would suggest coming to see us on it, because it's controversial, and I'm curious what you all think and what you all in the chat think regarding it.
Okay. With that being said, you all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.